Hello again, this is Brother Teacher. I want to talk to you like I talk to my students from the standpoint of a father to a son or daughter, or a brother to a sister or another brother, from a mentor to someone who's seeking knowledge and understanding about how they should navigate in the world in which they live. Uh, there are many of us who believe that uh, we received a lot of great information in our lives as we were growing up. But we come to find out that some of the information, if not a lot of the information, was not necessarily accurate. And God bless our families and those that were responsible for raising us and even our communities. But you can only disseminate information to someone according to the information that you already have. And if that information is bad information, then you will be disseminating bad information. But if that's all that you have to give out, then you have no control over that if you don't know any difference. So in this particular video, I'm talking about um, eating healthy. There are some that say eating healthy is expensive. I particularly don't believe that eating healthy is expensive. Eating healthy is no more expensive than the junk food that you buy in the restaurants. We have no complaints when we're driving down the road, when we stop at McDonald's, Wendy's, Taco Bell, Chick-fil-A, Chipotle, Fridays, uh, Good Old Boys, whatever the name of the restaurant is, it doesn't matter. We have no complaint when we stop and sit down and have all of this food brought to us and we pay for that service. And the crazy thing about it is, we don't know what's in the food, but we do it out of faith that it's good and wholesome and that it's not going to harm us in any way. Do you see how easily we take for granted the things in the world that are associated with us? You know, not to get off on a tangent of a different sort, but it's amazing how we don't realize that we have a measure of faith. We step out and we do things based on a certain amount of faith. I have faith, for example, or you have faith when you get on an airplane that the airplane is going to take you up in the sky and take you to your determined destination without harm. We have a certain measure of faith. We have a certain measure of faith that if we're swimming in a lake or a river, that an undertow won't pull us down and drown us, or that we won't get caught up in some branches and fishing line and drown in the lake or the river. We have a certain amount of faith. We have a certain amount of faith that when we go to the hospital, that the doctor is going to give you the appropriate medicine for your particular condition. We have a certain amount of faith. Would you not agree? So we have a certain amount of faith when we go to a restaurant as well, that they didn't put anything that's going to harm us in the food. But how do we know? Do we ever ask when we go to a restaurant what ingredients are in that sauce, where that cube steak is in, or that porterhouse steak? What did you put on it? What kind of seasoning do you use? Where do you get your food from? Where is it imported from? Who is your supplier? No one ever asks those questions when we go to a fast food restaurant. Hello, is that a wake up call, the statement I just made to you? Okay, now let's get back to is eating healthy expensive? So you know you spend an inordinate amount of money at restaurants. If you were to maintain all of the receipts that you spend weekly and monthly throughout the whole year, and at the end of the year you were to add them up, it would probably be astounding how much money you spend at restaurants. And it would also be astounding to you if you were to calculate how much money you spent in your own household on junk food. I'm talking about Pop Tarts, cookies, cakes, pies, potato chips, French fries, hot dogs, hamburgers. Yes, those are junk food as well. Uh, all of those types of things, candy bars. You know, uh, if you were to look at how much money you spent on those items as well and tally that up at the end of the year, it would amaze you. And combine the restaurant with the things that you spend at home, go figure. If you really want to know the answer. So, what's real food? I challenge you today to leave a comment in the comment section below after you have brought this to task. I'm going to help bring you to task if you don't mind. I would like you to go to your grocery store, spend about 20 minutes. You can be shopping while you're doing this. I want you to pay attention to the ingredients on a lot of the products that you buy. Your canned goods, your goods that are in jars. Read some of the ingredients. I want you to also go to your frozen foods and your TV dinners and your instant meals that you would normally put in a microwave oven, and read some of the ingredients. You will find that there are so many additives, there are so many chemicals, so many things that you can't even pronounce and or spell that have been added to your food product. Now, are these things healthy and good for this body, this organism? I think not. But don't take my word for it. You do the research on your own. You do your own due diligence and study your own health. And you ask yourself after this, after the study that is, will I continue in this way of feeding the industries? In other words, paying my hard-earned money to these industries that don't care about my health and my welfare, my well-being. Will I continue to buy into this crap that they're feeding me and my family? So why are the chemicals there in the first place? I'm going to say this. This is what you should be eating. Fruits and vegetables. This is an apple and an orange. So ordinarily, normally, in nature, these things grow unadulterated, untouched by human beings other than harvesting or pulling them from the trees or the vines, whatever it is, whatever the particular fruit is, grapes and so forth. They're not touched. But when you have insects that might infiltrate your garden or your vineyards, industrial revolution, we want to make money, right? So we're going to spray pesticides and chemicals on these apples and these oranges to keep the bugs off. Do they tell you and I that in the grocery store when you're shopping? This has been treated with pesticide and or chemicals. Or we put paraffin, which is a plastic preservatives that they use to put on apple types of produce. Do they tell you, is there a warning label on your produce when you go into the grocery store saying that we have sprayed this with chemicals, so beware, eat this at your own discretion? You never see those warnings, do you? So what they did, since there are some people like myself are conscious about these things, they created an organic section. But wow, did you know that whether it's sprayed or not sprayed, it's still organic? Organic simply means that something that grows naturally from the earth. That's organic. You and I are organic. But the difference in the grocery store is this. The things that have been sprayed with chemicals and pesticides are organic produce that have been sprayed or treated. And the other organic section, which is the one they want you and I to buy from, it costs more money, it hasn't been sprayed or treated with chemicals or pesticides. But it's all really organic. So, why do they put these things on our food? To keep them longer in the stores. They want to make money. You don't want to bring food into your grocery store if you own a grocery store and have the food die or waste away or rot on the shelf, because all biological things, once they're brought to the market, they can't stay for weeks and weeks and weeks without rotting. They're going to rot or waste away if they haven't been purchased by a consumer. So science, in its finite knowledge or wisdom, they said if we start putting preservatives, which are chemicals, inside of the packaging, inside of the cans, inside of the jars, in the frozen foods, if we start spraying and we start gassing some of these products, they will stay on the shelves longer. And if they stay on the shelves longer, then more people have an opportunity to purchase those things, because when they come to the grocery store, there will still be some there. But if we had not done that, that food would have been wasted in just a matter of a week or two. That's the way biological things work, ladies and gentlemen. When you hit a deer on the highway and it falls down dead, how long does it take for that deer to start to stink? He begins to decay or rot. The same thing is true with an apple, an orange, a banana. It's only going to lay there on the ground so long before it begins to decay and rot. It was designed to be consumed. Yes, but in the grocery stores, these same things that we eat or consume as consumers, such as chicken, beef, pork, lamb, deer, whatever, it doesn't matter. Whatever you find in your grocery stores that is biological, it can't stay there forever. So those people in power say, we want to prolong the life of those things on the shelves, so we're going to add some chemicals to them. But did they tell us or give us an instruction book telling us that these things could have a harmful or even fatal effect on the human body over time? They never told us that. They never gave us an instruction book. They were never forthright and told us that we could have allergic reactions to some of the chemicals. They never told us that it could cause heart disease. They never told us that we could have skin irritations and bowel problems, or we can have liver issues down the road from consuming these chemicals or these products that were chemically laden over a period of time. They never told us this. Why? Because the old FDA, Food, Drug, and Administration, approved it for consumption. But they never sent us a letter in the mail telling us that they put it in our foods. So it leaves it to us to read the instructions or the ingredients, if you will. And upon reading the ingredients, if you have done a little bit more research, you will find out that they're not mandated to put all of the ingredients in the products that we consume. Did you know that? That's a new law that came out a couple years ago. So you might find 10 ingredients in your product and you say, that's all that's in here. Not necessarily so. There are some things that they don't have to disclose to you and I. It's all about the money. Yes, it is, ladies and gentlemen. It's all about the money. So the question I bring back to you again is this. Is it expensive to eat healthy? After knowing these things, it's going to be expensive to go to the hospital because you have reaped the benefits of all of the poisons that they put in our foods. You're going to have stomach problems, gastrointestinal problems. You're going to have allergies. You're going to have respiratory problems. You're going to probably have heart problems or diabetic issues because of all of the sugars that they put, the artificial sugars that they put in our foods. You're going to have those issues, most definitely. I want you to understand something before I close this. But I'm going to say this too. I did say before, I hope I did. If I didn't, I'm saying it now. I'm issuing a challenge to you to go to your grocery store and tell me where you find real food at. Are you going to find it in the main body of the store or just in the produce section, in the organic section? Is that the only real food there that hasn't been tampered with to prolong its life in the store? I want you to answer that question. And here's the other thing I wanted to bring home before I leave. If none of this resonates to you, I want you to just take this simple example. You and I, all of us, we're alive. The fish in the sea, all of the life in the sea, it's alive and it's thriving. The fowls, the birds in the air, they're alive and they're thriving. All of the animals that live on the land, all the way down to the smallest microorganism, they are alive. Now, if we are alive, we should be eating things and drinking things that come from nature and that are alive as well. Because this human body, this human organism, recognizes life, biological life, as we are being put into it. And everything we put in our bodies that is a chemical, that is manufactured by man in a laboratory, that is not alive, then it's not healthy for us. It is not good for us at all. These things contain carcinogens, cancer-causing agents or properties. They're not good for us. They never have been, they are not now, and they never will be. Think on these things. I only say these things because I care about you. I'm not asking you for any money. I have a business. I can send you to that website, but I'm not asking you for money. I'm trying to make you conscious of the world that you live in. If you have any questions and concerns, please leave your comments and concerns in the comment section below. This is Brother Teacher. Yahweh love you, and I love you. See you in the next video. So long.